Welcome, Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Wednesday to you, 1st of January 2025. I hope it's been a good one for you and you enjoyed your New Year's celebrations. Right, let's get straight on with the price action analysis. This is the daily time frame here on Bitstamp, just on the perpetual exchange. You can see there's not a great deal that's occurred really over the last few days. It's been fairly low volatility price action on this daily time frame. What you can see quite easily, and you don't need me to point this out, is a downtrend with potentially another lower high forming here, and then maybe a move down towards the kind of mid 80s, maybe high 80s, mid high 80s. And then, in all likelihood, a decent bounce from there, which then, if it recovers the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, which will likely be something along those lines, then it'll probably be continuation of the bull market, maybe into but maybe that'll take till the middle of January, say come the end of January. We'll see what happens. All depends on the volatility over the next few days to weeks. So we'll see if that kind of comes to fruition, that kind of price action. For now though, downside, as you can see from a momentum point of view, because the MACD is below the zero line, then momentum's to the downside. We also continue in a red color, so not only momentum to the downside, but with downside posture, as long as Bitcoin is closing daily candles. The next one closes in 4 hours, below basically 95,000, which is only $500 away from at the moment. So who knows what will happen in the next 4 hours by the time this daily candle closes. But I think momentum's going to remain to the downside. Now, what does Bitcoin need to do to sort of invalidate continuation to the downside? Well, in my opinion, that's closed back above the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, which was 98,000. So 98,000, from the point of view of the way I look at price action, it needs to be a daily closure to probably negate further downside as the next option. Let's swing down to the 4 hour. You can see on the 4 hour, in the last sort of 24, 48 hours, the momentum's working its way back to the zero line, but it's not quite there yet. So momentum is still to the downside on the MACD here on the 4 hour. You can see that it's fairly close to the zero line. That close. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to this 96,750 to cross above. But what I would say is that you can see there's $1,000 buffer for continuation of the MACD, or for the MACD to continue with a green upside posture. So as long as Bitcoin's closing 4 hours above 93.5, and it's got a chance. If it can get back up to the top of the Bollinger Band, that'll look good. And if it can close back above this closure here on the 4 hour time frame, 95, say 250, then actually that would start to look quite good, and that then may bleed into the daily time frame. You would likely start to get expansion of volatility on the 4 hour to the upside. Not there yet, though. What would make more downside likely on this 4 hour time frame? Well, initially closure below the midpoint of the Bollinger Band was coming at 93.5. So yeah, that is also the same price to turn down this MACD red again. So yeah, 93.5 on a 4 hour, and then more downside, probably retesting these lows around 92, and then, well, who knows after that, but probably move down towards somewhere between, somewhere in the mid to high 80s. What else was I going to say? Yeah, you can see it's kind of like a wedge too. I mean, I'm not a big fan of sort of formations, but you can see from this high here on this 4 hour time frame, what's that? What's that stupid thing you just drew on the chart there, Simon? And this is what you're after. So you can see this is by definition selling pressure up against support. So that's just a triangle, right, or a wedge or whatever. It's a descending one. So it's a reflection of selling pressure over buying pressure. If it was the other way around, then a different kettle of fish, um, and would likely beget upside. But I do feel like more downside is likely to occur at some point. So, predicting the timing of that is as always a fool's errand. Okay, I think that'll do it for now. I could just quickly check in midweek CME, with it being Wednesday. And if I throw on over to the weekly time frame, you can see, yeah, it doesn't look too good. It's kind of the sort of candle that likely will continue with the short-term trend, which is to the downside. Obviously, the long-term trend's to the upside, but this weekly short-term trend probably more downside. Um, so yeah, there we go. I think that's the end of the video for now. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. Happy New Year again, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.